Emil Cadillac here with FootballDiehards.com. It's July 20th, and we got a fun mock draft today coming up in about an hour and a half with USA Today. Tons of experts. We've got people from Fantasy League Football, The Huddle, as you see across the screen, USA Today, Steve Gardner, another Huddle character, Bruno Boys, Mike from FF Today, old friend, wonderful man. Another USA Today, Corey Bonini, and Jeff Power, who's in one of our magazines, an excellent fantasy expert, fantasy guru. It's hidden who that is. We don't know. And there I am at Pick 10. So we have Pick 10 today. We got a lot of thinking to do. And we got Tony Holmes with Draft Sharks and Turner, and I don't know his first name, with Fantasy Knuckles. We have the 10th pick. Not really used to that, so it's going to be fun. We're going to go through a few things. Let's do a quick look over here at high stakes ADP. Let's go to overall, and we're going to move the screen up a little bit closer to the top. So if you look in here, here's our 10th pick right here at Dez Bryant. So according to high stakes ADP, and this is point per reception, which this league is, we have, of course, Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham, 3 receivers in a row, Julio Jones. Then the first running back is Le'Veon Bell. A little tired today, so I'm probably going to make some mistakes. Hopkins goes, the 4th receiver. Then 2 more running backs, Gurley and Johnson. Some of my favorites will be gone by our pick. A.J. Green will most likely be gone. Then we're missing out on the Dallas rookie, Elliott. So here we are on the 10th pick, and truthfully, I don't really want to take Dez Bryant. I'm just a little worried about the Cowboys. So I'd like to look at some alternatives here. If any of these guys fall to me other than Dez Bryant, I'll probably just take them. I'd like to see a receiver that I feel good about. You know, Allen Robinson, Arian Peterson, a running back for Minnesota. Good picks. I may end up taking those guys. And as you look down the list, you know, there's not somebody I really want to take in the first round. So that becomes a dilemma. I could take Gronkowski, although I'm still kind of not that excited about taking a tight end in the first round. It leaves you chasing forever. And I think there's some other tight ends like Delaney Walker, who in a PPR league are good value in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. We'll take a look at that a little later. So obviously I'm in a bit of a position here. If this draft today goes the way ADP goes, I'm going to get stuck having to really think about my 10th pick. Maybe I do take Bryant. Maybe I do take a running back like Peterson or reach down. You know, when we flip over, we'll have around the 15th pick on our second, and we've got guys like Lamar Miller, Devontae Freeman, etc. We got Evans higher than most people in this rank. Well, actually, that's the ADP, not a ranking. Who's a possibility? Keenan Allen. You got some nice guys. Let's sneak up here a little bit. Cooks, Alshon Jeffries. Those are guys that would really be fun picking with our second spot. And as I pointed out, we loop around the corner, so we have the 3rd pick in the 2nd round, which means we'll have the 15th overall pick. So the 2nd round, we got a lot of things that I feel good about. Maybe we'll get lucky, and one of the top 9 on this ADP will fall to us. Somebody will essentially take Dez Bryant or Adrian Peterson or somebody early, and we'll be able to pop in there and pick that. So let's take a quick look at who we're going to target in the second round. Certainly, as we flip down here a little bit, I personally like Keenan Allen. So let's see if I can't flip him over here. And I don't think I can do this, but I'm going to try. Yeah, that actually worked. So let's look at Keenan Allen in the 2nd round. Let's go back here. I'm kind of let Evans go. I'm a little worried about Evans. We should really look at him closely, but I'm going to take Brandon Cooks and put him on my list. Oh, well, that wasn't too smart, was it? And let's take also Alshon Jeffrey. All 3 of those guys I think are excellent receivers. And again, it's a PPR league with 3 starting receivers, 2 running backs, a quarterback, a tight end, etc., and 1 flex, which is running back, wide receiver, and tight end. So I usually like to try and go 2 to 3 receivers in the first 3 rounds. things are a little different this year with just, obviously, it's a different year, different players. Good example is, Allen Robinson. You were able to get last year in the 5th round. Of course, now he's an almost first round or second round kind of guy. So you got to pay for him. And the Jaguars are talking about running the ball more, whether that really happens or not. So I don't know if I really want to pay that much to get Allen Robinson at the top of the first, or the bottom of the first round, or the top of the second round. Devontae Freeman's supposed to lose, some time to Coleman this year. How much? I mean, Devontae Freeman was huge last year. Maybe I'll run some calculations here. We got another hour or so before the draft. You could always take him with the 10th pick if we don't like some of these other guys. Adrian Peterson doesn't catch the ball a lot, but he's been such a monster his whole career. It's hard to let him go. So he may be a guy we want to take if one of those other guys doesn't fall. It's kind of nice to take fresh players like Elliott, but they're all risks. Peterson is a guy you're just a little worried about him with his health. I mean, he's been fantastic, but he is getting up there in age. So you worry a little bit about him finally having a bad year. And like I said, Gronkowski, I'm a little worried. I just don't want to draft a tight end. So I'm in a quandary. We got an hour and a half to figure it out. So let's look at a few other things. Since I can't figure out the first round, and I've got some people in for the second round in our sheet, we've got 3 receivers. Let's look at the third round. We've got the 10th pick in the third round, which is, what is that? That's about the 34th overall pick. Let's go down the overall and see what's around the 34th pick. A guy I like as a risk player is Sammy Watkins. He's fallen all the way to the 32nd pick overall due to the fact that we're not really sure whether he's going to be healthy coming into the start of the season. Training camp's coming up in a week and a half, and the jury's still out. I'm going to put him as a hopeful in the third round. He probably will go before then, but it's one of those things, if he falls to us, perhaps he's a guy that would really have value there. Other guys in this area, I like Mark Ingram. Don't think he's going to make it, and I'd like not to take too many running backs. Depending on what we do in the first round, he'd be a tempting guy to take as long as we can find some receivers farther down. And obviously you've got Golden Tate's a great receiver. Edelman, Kelvin Benjamin's coming back. Macklin's a guy that people keep forgetting about. We can probably get him in the 4th round. As you can see, 36. He may sneak into the 4th round. So I'm going to put, we got Sammy Watkins in there. Maybe Golden Tate we'll put in there. He scares me a little bit. I'm almost interested more in Marvin Jones as a sleeper type. And let's go find Marvin Jones here. Marvin Jones, 79. So he's a 79th player taken in these things. And what is that divided by 12? I used to be able to do that in my head. So that's like the 6th or 7th round. Let's see, 6 times 12 is 70. So that's into the 7th round. So let's stick him in the 6th round on our little target sheet. And, as we get into this 3rd round, maybe we don't take Tate and we take Marvin Jones as a hopeful to be a valuable player for Detroit this year, and we can get him a lot later. So let's go back, look at the first round selections. And as I said, I don't want to take Dez Bryant, and pretty much anybody in those top 9 before him I'm trying to lean to receiver, but if we could get Gurley, David Johnson, or Elliott. I don't like to take Elliott. He's a rookie, but all the planets are aligning for Elliott. So I guess he makes sense at the 10th spot. So let's just do this. Let's go here on the first round, and we'll put ADB, anybody but. Let's see, how does that? Anybody but Dez Bryant. So AB Dez Bryant. Anybody but Dez Bryant. And we'll just follow down the sheet. We'll see where we go live. When you get live, who knows what happens. You change your mind and all those kind of things. So here's a quick first look at what we've got. Got a lot of planning to do in another hour and 20 minutes. We'll pop in and out as we come up with more things before the draft starts. So there's our initial look. We'll continue in a little